Welcome to the Event Planners Association online mastermind training event. I'm Seth Greene. I am your host. I am excited to welcome you to tonight's training. We've got a lot of awesome content to share with you. I am super excited for what you're about to experience. We are going to cover 3 things today that are on the agenda, and then whatever else you want to talk about that we've got time for. We are going to talk about how to build your own event mafia that sends you referrals every month. We're going to talk about how to build an iron fence around your clients so they plan all their events through you. Just if you've ever had this happen, type I've had that happen in the chat box. How many of you have ever done an event for someone or a company and then you find out later, maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's a year later, they did some other event with somebody else and you said, hey, how come you didn't use me for that? I planned this event. Why wouldn't you ask me to plan the next one? You said we did a great job for you, and they go, oh, I didn't know you did that. If you've ever had that happen, type I've had that happen into the chat box. Yep, okay, I see people typing. Awesome. We're going to show you how to prevent that from ever happening again, and then we're also going to teach you how to get your clients to think about you every single month. Because even if they don't have an event that month, they may know somebody who does, but it is not their job to remember you. It is your job to make sure they don't forget you. And we'll show you exactly how to do that. All right, before we dive right in, I'm going to ask you a quick question. We're going to do a quick poll. Which one of these are you? So I'm going to have you answer the question real quick. Are you a wedding event planner, a corporate event planner, a personal event planner that covers like weddings and parties, a corporate event planner, both? Do you do both personal and corporate events, or are you an event industry vendor? I'm going to leave it open for 15 seconds, 10 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Looks like 42% of you do both personal and corporate events. 31% are pure corporate, 23% are personal. Awesome. So this is going to apply to all of those. But in order to do what we're talking about today, and I'm going to give you everything you need. I'm literally going to share with you exactly how to do the 3 things that we talked about. You've got to have, it takes about 30 minutes a week, and you've got to be coachable. Because what I'm about to share with you may seem outside the box. You may never have thought about it before. You may have tried it. It may not have worked. You may not have done anything. So you've got to be open to suggestion. It's also for you if you're tired, if you're frustrated, if you're sick of being one of the best kept secrets in your niche. If you knew, like in your city, that if just more people knew, more of the right people knew how fabulous you were at events, you'd have all the business you could handle. Because when you show someone this is what you can do, a high percentage of them hire you, and you do a great job for them, and they love you, and you just need more people to get in front of. If that is you, type I need more people in the chat box. I will wait while everyone types in I need more people. Okay, yep, Lori needs more people. Who else, Dave? Yep, we all need more people. Awesome. Yep. Very true. I'm asking questions and asking you to type to make this more interactive, because if it's just me talking at you the whole time, you will get a whole lot less out of it. Studies have shown that if you actually engage in a training like this, you will remember it a lot longer. Talia needs more people. Awesome. You will remember a lot more, and you'll actually be a whole lot more likely to take action. Victoria, Angela, L. Matthews. I don't know your first name, L. I apologize. All right. Awesome. So let's one quick housekeeping item. Please close Facebook, close any other browser windows you have open right now. Mark, please stop what you're doing and just pay attention to us. Deborah, no checking text, no checking emails, because the more, again, if you're multitasking, you won't get as much out of it. Trust me, I used to be the king of multitasking. I would do 4 things at once until I had a coach. My coach took me through an exercise that proved to me quantifiably, that I now use with other people, that multitasking makes you make mistakes and makes you not consume the content. All right. Also, if you'll stay to the end, I have a free gift for you worth literally $2,500. That is legitimate value. That's not made up. That is exactly what it's worth, that you will get if you stay to the end. Who am I real quick? I am the VP of Marketing for the Event Planners Association. So my job is to make sure you get more customers. That's my job. You're an event planner, you're an industry vendor. It's my job to provide you resources and to make sure that you grow your business to whatever level it is that you want through the Event Planners Association. So you're looking for more people, you're looking for more events, you're looking for more business, you're looking to grow. I'm your guy here at EPA. I actually have to update this. I apologize. I've written 7 best-selling marketing books. My latest one, Market Domination for Podcasting, is on the bookshelves of Barnes & Noble right now, which is a really cool bucket list item for me, Denise. It's funny, my mom went in and bought it and posted a picture on Facebook, and I said, on the day it came out, hit the shelves, and I said, Mom, I would have given you a book for free. She said, no, I wanted to buy it in a bookstore like a real customer, and I can tell people, I bought my son's book at the bookstore. So I've also been on the alphabet soup of media, and on a personal note, this is my family. That's my wonderful, amazing wife, Rebecca, and our 3 kids. Ella is on the left. She is 8. Max is 10. He's in the center. And our daughter, Lily, is 4. She's on the right. But we're not here to talk about me today. We're here to talk about you. And if I deliver what we're talking about today, and that'll be up to you, if I deliver some awesome ideas and some great value, I want to share with you a way to make your life a whole lot easier and to stay on top of all of this at the end. All right, so here we are at the Event Planners Mastermind. Let's start with how to build your own event mafia that sends you referrals every single month. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what you're going to do. Are you ready? I hope you've got something to take notes on, because this is really, really cool. All right, so how to build your own event mafia that sends you referrals every single month. How does that sound, right? Wouldn't that be wonderful if you got regular referrals every month from a group of people that knew you, liked you, trusted you, and wanted to send you business? Okay, so here's the first part of the process. You're going to make a list of your dream 20 referral sources. So these could be banquet halls, it could be DJs, it could be the florist, it could be the caterer, it could be the invitation place, the printer, the photographer, the videographer. Anybody who sees your client, anybody else who sees your client, your ideal client in their business. So if you are a corporate event planner, then perhaps the people who see who's the contact at the corporation? Is that the HR person? Well, is there an HR trade association? Is there a Chamber of Commerce? Is there a networking group that those people to belong to? If you are a wedding planner, you know, obviously, who do they see before they see you? They probably see the jeweler. They got to get engaged. Somebody's got to get a ring most of the time, right? So if you've got a referral source who isn't on this list, who I didn't think of, please type it in the chat box, because your ideas will all help each other. I'm here to facilitate, but you folks on this webinar, you know more people, you've forgotten more about event planning than I'll ever know. Lori says churches. Awesome. Yes, a church would be a great place. A lot of times people go for premarital counseling. So that could be the pastor, that could be the priest, that could be the rabbi. They go to them to help plan the wedding as well, the officiant. Bridal boutiques. Awesome. Another great idea. The dress store, right? She's gotta get a dress. Those are great. Tuxedo shops. Awesome. Okay. So just to give you an idea, who else sees your ideal client? So you're going to make a list of those people. And you want to get 20, because not all of them are going to do what we're about to say, what I'm about to teach you. All right. Number 2, the second step, and again, write this down, you're going to ask to interview each of them for a new book you're writing about event planning. Chamber of Commerce, great idea. Mozilla, lighting and, let's see, Convention Visitors Bureau, lighting and decor companies. Beth, yeah, great suggestions. Absolutely. Folks, write these down. These aren't my ideas. These are yours. So you're going to ask those 20 people you're going to say, I'm writing a new book about event planning. I'd love to interview for it for your expert opinion. Are you open to that? There's no cost to be in the book. There's no gimmick. It's a real book that I'm writing, and I'd love to feature you. What do you think they're going to say? Mozilla says decorators. Yep, great idea. 9 times out of 10, they're going to say yes. Now, we've done this many, many, many times, and we've had some interesting responses as to why people said no. We had one gentleman who said no. He said, I don't want any more business. We had another person who said, I'm about to retire. We had one person who said, I like to fly under the radar. I don't want anybody to know who I am. And I couldn't believe that. I got on the phone and called the guy. My staff gave me that answer, and I called the guy and I said, seriously, you don't want anyone to know who you are? How do you expect to get any business? So you're going to ask to interview them for a book you're writing about event planning. Now, each one of those interviews you're going to record. You're going to use the voice memo app on your iPhone. You can buy a voice recorder at Staples or Office Depot for 20 bucks. And then you're going to have it transcribed. And that's literally where somebody types every word that was said. And I'm going to show you how to do all this in just a second. But then we need to write some chapters about you. So you're going to take the person on that list that you interviewed, who's the biggest referral source, who's like #1 on that list in your book, who's like dream come true. And you're going to ask them to interview you. And they're going to ask you the same questions you asked them. They're going to interview you, and it's going to bond them with you even more. Again, you're going to have all the interviews transcribed, and then they've got to be edited, because the way we talk is not the way people read. The way I'm talking to you right now isn't how a book would look. I might use the word like, you know, yeah, sure, stuff like that. I might have a run-on sentence when I talk to you. All of that's got to be edited and cleaned up so it looks like a real book. I got questions already. How do you get them to agree to interview you in return? So how I would do that is say, hey, listen, you gave such a great interview. I just realized I'd love to have you pick my brain and interview me to help pull some of the content out of me for my chapter in the book. And usually they'll say yes. What's in it for them? I'm getting there. I'm getting there, Amber. Your awesome questions. Keep them coming. Number 6. You're going to take all of those interviews and you're going to put it together in a book. And I'm going to show you examples of actual books. I'll turn my webcam on and show you stuff in a little bit. So what does that mean? It's got to look like a real book, like a bookstore book. This isn't an e-book. So it needs graphic design. It's got to have a pretty, a cover, a spine, a back cover. It's got to have layout. The book's got to be laid out like a book and look like a book. And then you've got to publish it. And I'm going to show you, you can now publish to Amazon through a service that Amazon has called CreateSpace that is absolutely free. It doesn't cost you anything to publish your book on Amazon. And then you're going to do something with the book after that. I'll show you an example of some covers, and then I'll show you the physical books when I turn my webcam on. So these aren't event planning books. This is Craig Turner. He is a political consultant. He helps people get elected to local office, but that's what his cover looks like. This is David Braun, who's a financial advisor, and this is what his book cover looks like: Navigating Life Transitions, Making the Right Decisions to Secure Your Financial Future. What's in it for them? After the book is published, you're going to have everyone in the book hand out copies of the book to all their current clients, past clients, and prospects. Why would they do that? If I am the church efficient, Amber, because it was your question, why would I hand out book copies to my clients? And anybody else who wants to answer can chime in. Yes, Beth, because you're in it. It's an ego stroke. So they're going to hand out the book because they're in it. It makes them look good. To prove your authority, absolutely. We do something really cool with all of our clients that we do this for. We have a book launch party where everyone in the book comes, and here's the cool part. They all bring their spouses, and they bring their guests. They bring prospects, they bring clients, they bring past clients. Why would they do that? Beth, you're on a roll. Why would the church efficient bring parishioners to a book launch party of a book he's in? More exposure, absolutely. And it makes him look fabulous. So if I'm coming to your book party because you wrote about me in your book and I bring 10 clients with me, I look awesome because I'm like, hey, I'm in this book. There's a book launch. How many people have ever been to a book launch party? Nobody, right? Very, very rare, unless you're like in the publishing world in New York City, you're not in one. So everyone, authors in this day and age are celebrities. So they get to go to a book launch party. I'm getting you there, Amber. How can we get funding for a book launch party? Everybody, so they go to a book launch party. Everybody gets their picture taken holding up the book. Everybody signs copies of the books because they're mini famous because they're in this book. They have a fantastic time. It generates a ton of buzz, a ton of goodwill, and a ton of business for everybody. Now, here's the beautiful part. You're all in the event business. So who's going to throw a better book launch party than you? Nobody. Now, where are you going to get funding for the book launch party? We've had clients who did all types of different book launch parties. I have a client who's having one in 2 weeks, and he is just getting hors d'oeuvres. It's a room at a restaurant, and he's having hors d'oeuvres and drinks, and he's going to spend a couple $100. I'm getting there, Beth. Who pays for the books? Next, I had a client who went all out. I had one client who literally had people to his office. He had a conference room that was big enough, and they took the tables out, and they just stood around. I had a client who had a jazz quartet at her party, who had ice sculptures of her logo at the party, who gave away swag bags filled with the book and a bunch of other stuff at the party. I have a client who's having one next week in Canada, who's got 50 people coming. Now, where can we get funding for a book launch party? Well, you could, if you had big enough pockets, pay for it all yourself, or you could get everyone who's in the book to chip in, because you could split it 10 or 20 ways, because they all look fabulous by being in the book. We've had clients who do that, who pays for the book. Here's the beauty of it. If you print on Amazon with Create Space, you don't pay the Amazon price for the book. You pay your printing cost for the book. So depending on how long the book is, you might pay, and how many you buy at one time, you might pay a couple, $4, $5, $6 a copy. And we also have a source for printing where we print for larger quantities where the price gets cheaper. But the good news is we're not trying to make $1 million selling books, and we're not trying to hit the New York Times bestseller list. We're trying to keep the book as cheap as possible in terms of your cost, because we want everyone in the book to buy copies of it and hand them out. I don't want to make money on that. I want it as cheap as possible so they buy as many books as possible so I get as many referrals as possible. Because if you're handing out my book, the people you're handing it out to, I want business from. They're going to read the book, and some of them are going to say, oh man, I should talk to Beth who wrote the book. Does that make sense? And then you watch your business explode. That is how to build an event planning mafia, because we do something really cool after the book launch. Then we do a monthly book networking group where everyone in the book comes, gets together for breakfast or lunch or whatever every month. And it's almost like a BNI meeting, if you've ever been in a BNI meeting or a networking group, except you're the only event planner in the group. So all the referrals come to you because it's your group. Interview and ask a vendor with event space to co-host the event. Brilliant. I don't know what your first name is, L. Matthews. What's your first name? Can you type that in? Because you are on a roll. You've had some awesome ideas. Laverne, you rock. That is a great idea. Ask a vendor interview someone from a banquet hall and ask them to host the event in exchange for the exposure. Boom. There you go. Laverne just hit it out of the park. All right, I'm going to switch my webcam on and show you some physical books. And then we're going to do a hot seat where anybody can jump on and ask some other questions. And then we'll go on to the next awesome idea. Share my webcam. I've got to sit in front of it. All right, hang on. It's coming on. Can everybody see me? Type in yes if you can see me. Yes, okay. Victoria, how do I see the other questions people are asking? You can't, or I don't know how. I don't know how to make the chat live to everybody. Okay, you can see me. All right, you can. All right. So here is. Let's do some examples of books. This is David Braun's book. So David's soft cover. David is shorter. He's 120 pages, but it's still a real book. This is Adrian's Going From We to Me, A Financial Guide to Divorce. Hers is a lot longer. Hers is about 220. It just depends on how many people you interview or how many chapters you want to write. So you're not limited because it's your book. So everybody else gets one chapter. You could write as many as you want. Let's see here. Living Well After Cancer. This is Dr. Kevin. His is longer. His is like 280. I wouldn't recommend that. I would go shorter, 150 to 220. How long does it take the typical person to write one? Angela, you're not writing the book, you're interviewing people. So it just depends on how long it takes people to interview, how long it takes you to coordinate the interviews. So for example, when we do this for our clients and all they do is show up for the interview, they don't do any other work, we tell them to plan on start to finish from day you hire us to, and I'm not selling that service to you. I'm not here to sell you that. From the day you hire us to the day the book launch party is about 6 months. Because what we find is people do about one interview a week. Because it's 20 to 30 minutes, they could do it in a week. They feel comfortable with that. Dr. Kevin is crazy. He took a week off from his practice as a chiropractor and did 20 interviews in a week. Like he did 4 a day for 5 days, and all of the content for his book was done in a week. Don't try that at home. Can you get it in hardcover? Yes. So this is one of mine, one of my original books. Again, we don't charge a markup printing books. So if you want to pay the extra buck or whatever it is for hardcover, you can absolutely pay for it. Has more of a thud factor. What kind of questions are we asking these referrals? Great question, Talia. So I'll give you some of the questions we use. Also, if you folks don't listen to the Event Planners podcast, I am the host of it. You absolutely should. It's on iTunes. Just type in Event Planners Association. You'll see it. We interview lots of you. So we interview photographers and videographers and banquet halls and all that, so you can just steal ethically some of my questions and listen to our show. Examples: how'd you get into the business? You're a photographer. What prompted you to become a photographer? Okay, what type of events do you specialize in? Why do you like doing weddings? What are some of the biggest mistakes people make when choosing a wedding photographer? In this day and age with all the technology and cell phone cameras and stuff like that, what type of value does a wedding photographer professional photographer add? Some of the very important question I always ask is, what's your biggest challenge? You want to write that down and keep that one. I always ask, what is your biggest challenge? Because it opens up a future conversation after the interview to, can you help me with that biggest challenge? Hopefully that gives you some ideas, Talia. We are going to do a hot seat. You guys have been asking questions one at a time. If there's somebody who wants to role play a specific question on how it would work in their business, just type, I want the hot seat, and we'll do it with you. Or we'll do a hot seat later. Okay. All right. So next. I'll do a hot seat. Victoria Peterson. All right. Can I make Victoria? Victoria, are you in a position where you can be on, where you are comfortable being on camera, if I can figure out how to do that? Here, I'm going to make you a panelist. If you don't laugh. I won't laugh, Victoria. Here, let me find, you're now a panelist. I'm going to unmute you. Victoria, can you talk and see if we can hear you?
Hello.
Awesome, we can hear you. All right, do you want to share your webcam so we can see you?
Sure, how do I do that?
Here, I just sent you a webcam request.
Okay.
There you are. Hi, Victoria.
Hello.
All right, awesome. Thanks for being a good sport. Tell me a little bit about your business.
I am an event planner, and I specialize in corporate and association events.
Ooh, cool. Elise says, hi, Victoria, you're very brave. All right, so corporate and association events. Awesome. So who is the decision maker at a company who would make the decision to bring you in or hire you for an event?
Sure. Often the HR manager, director, marketing director, or even the CEO, depending on how big or small the company is.
Okay, so owner, marketing director, HR director, manager type people.
Correct.
Awesome. All right, so you could write the book on how to hold a successful corporate event, go make a list of your 20 dream clients. Interview them about how they do their events as your way in the door to get their business. So I'm tweaking our process a little bit for you because you're different. I'm not
Yeah, I
saying
like
go
that
interview
idea.
the wedding, go interview the officiant and the DJ and the blah, 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 all those people. For you, you could just go interview. This is another strategy everybody could use. You could also, if there's interview your dream clients in the book, and you can't try and sell them something when you're interviewing them. It has to be all about them and it has to be all about the book. But Victoria's B2B. She's trying to get in at companies. So a lot of times she may struggle with getting past the gatekeepers,
Mhm.
trying to get a hold of those people, trying to get past the 3 receptionists who say, "Why are you calling?" Trying to get past Battle Axe Bertha, who's like, "I know you're trying to sell something and won't let you in."
Yep, that's
You're
it.
nodding. Yes. So this totally flips the script because if you're calling to set up a book, interview someone for a book, we very rarely get a no. It's usually a, "Oh my God, I'll put you right through." Does that make sense?
Yeah, I like that door opening suggestion.
I mean, we've used that to get in at Fortune 500 companies. I'm not saying your events that's who you're looking for. We've gotten celebrities to do books. We've gotten Fortune 500 CEOs to do books. I've gotten people from Shark Tank to call me on their cell phone because they wanted to do the interview because it's a huge ego stroke. What's everybody's favorite radio station? WIFM. What's in it for me? I can't believe, Victoria, you're the only person who's never heard that joke before. I love it. That is awesome. I love that you did someone actually didn't know the answer to that. That's great. You haven't been on enough of my webinars.
Nope.
Amber says it's cheesy. Yes, I know it's cheesy. I didn't make up that joke. I'm quoting someone from 20 years ago. All right. Does that make sense how that could work?
Yes, it does. I really like that entry, and those are definitely the people that I'm targeting, and I have trouble. I used to be on that side of things, and now as an independent person, it's hard to figure out how to penetrate the corporate structure. So that's really helpful.
Awesome. Okay. I am going to turn you off and go on to our next awesome idea. Is that okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for playing. That's what happens when you play, people. All right. You are dismissed. Stop webcam sharing. Okay. So you're disappearing. Awesome. Okay. Deborah, how would this interview situation work since I plan fundraising events for nonprofits? Same way it works for Victoria. Who's the fundraiser? Who's the person at nonprofit who hires you? Is that the VP of development who's in charge of fundraising? Go interview them about how nonprofits raise money with events. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. Questions we're already covering. Okay, next. Elise, Elise says thank you. So everybody appreciates your interview. Your hot seat. All right, how to build an iron fence around your clients so they plan all of their events through you. Here, I'm going to stop my webcam for a minute. Yoop. Okay. How to build an iron fence around your clients so they plan all of their events through you. Oh, Denise, nonprofits would be the executive director and marketing director. Exactly. So that's who you would go interview. All right. So let's build an iron fence around your clients. All right. So there are a few principles that you need to put into place to make this work, and then I'll show you the physical thing that does it. Number one, your iron fence has to be consistent. And I'm going to tell you how often your iron fence needs to show up, and you may tell me I'm crazy. You may ask me if you can do it less often. You can ask me if you can do it cheaper. I'm going to tell you what works. So hopefully I have your permission to share this with you because it works. So it's got to be consistent. And if you want an iron fence to really work, you've got to show up every month. Not in person, don't worry. You're not dropping off donuts. But it's got to show up every month because people forget about you really, really fast. We're bombarded with 10,000 marketing messages a day. So again, you've got to show up often. Number two, they've got to know when you're going to show up. So you can't, if you're going to do something on the first of the month, you got to do it the first of the month every single month. You know you did it right if it's the first of the month and they call and it's the second and they call you going, where is it? Because they were expecting it. You've got to get them to expect it, like their favorite network TV show that airs the same time, same day, every single week. Number three, it's got to be personal. The number one marketing sin I see every day from event planners is they're boring. Not you personally are boring, but the marketing is boring. And come on, you guys get to have serious fun for a living. So it's got to be personal. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. You've got to get them to know, like, and trust you. Granted, they were your client and they got to know, like, and trust you a little bit, but you've got to tell them a whole lot more. You know, I showed you pictures of my wife and kids, and I talk on our marketing all the time about Max playing soccer, Ella being in theater, Lily doing gymnastics, my wife being treasurer of the PTA, and it gets incredibly engaging responses. I used to not use my wife and kids in our marketing at all, and then I had my marketing mentor, Dan Kennedy, smack me upside the head metaphorically and said, "Are you nuts? Why aren't you bond with your clients?" And when we started, I mean, I would have my kids send letters to my clients saying, "Daddy misses you. You haven't sent Daddy a referral in a while. Thanks for letting our mommy stay home and not have to go to work." And I get phone calls every month from the technique I'm about to show you, telling people, my clients calling us, going, "Oh my God, your kids are so cute," or "Oh my God, your cat is adorable," or "Oh, I can't believe that happened," because it was personal. Number four, it's got to be funny. It doesn't have to be funny every time, but there's got to be some elements of humor in it, because if you make people laugh, they will be bonded to you even more. Number six, puzzles. People love puzzles. People love engagement devices. Watch, the show Superhuman on Fox or AB, whatever. I forget what channel it's on. It was on last night. A client of mine and a friend of mine actually won. Spoiler alert. I won't tell you his name. You'll see if you watch the show that was on last night. He won, and that's a show all about puzzles. Event highlights. You've got to showcase what you do, because your clients may have attended one event with you. They don't know everything else that you do. They don't know all of the amazing creative ideas you have. And pictures are the best way. Pictures and video are the best way to do that. Another great way to put an iron fence around your clients is to have a client of the month. This could be the person who had the biggest event, who spent the most amount of money with you. It could be the person who gave you the most referrals. Whatever behavior you want to repeat, you need to reinforce. I will say that again because it's really important. Whatever behavior you want to repeat, you need to reinforce. If you want more referrals, you need to reward people who give you referrals. I was doing a consultation for I'm getting there. Do what with the client of the month, Amberly? Give them a prize. It could be as little as a Starbucks gift card. It could be a copy of your book. It could be dinner for two, depending on what you had them do. I was doing work for an industrial B2B manufacturing company. They make stuff out of iron, and they have job size. They make like things that go on rooftops of big buildings, and these job sizes might be $50,000, $60,000, $80,000. And I said, we were talking about how much business they get from referrals, and I said, "What do you do for the referral?" He said, "Nothing." I said, "No thank you letter." "No." "No thank you gift." "No." "No thank you gift to the referee." "No." He said, "Oh my God, start a referral campaign right now. Go through your database, go find everybody who's given you a referral in the last 6 months, send them a box of Omaha steaks or something saying, 'Thank you so much for the referral. Just to let you know, John did end up hiring us and loved with the work that we did for him,' blah, blah, blah." Now you want to make it really cool, you send something that has to be consumed by more than 2 people. And you say, "Hey, Bob, thanks for referring John. He did an event with us. It worked out great. Here's a box of Omaha steaks. You'll notice there's 4. Why don't you and John get together for a barbecue and with your spouses and have a nice dinner on us?" How much do they love you then? So how do you accomplish all of these principles in one easy to implement, relatively inexpensive way to build an iron fence? Here's my drum roll. You send them a physical monthly snail mail newsletter. This is ours. The Kazam Double Your Sales by Magic newsletter. All right, this is my newsletter, not the EPA newsletter. This is from my company. It is 4 pages, 8.5, 11 by 17, folded in half, and then folded in half again to mail. So that is literally what it looks like. It is not 10 pages, it is not 6 pages, not 8 pages, not 12 pages. People won't read it. We tested all of those and we found out the ideal length was 4 pages. 4 pages also works because it's relatively easy to fill from your perspective, as opposed to if I told you go write a 16-page newsletter every month, nobody would do it. So in this newsletter, you can fit a client of the month, a joke of the month, a puzzle, a picture highlights of an event of the month that you just did, an article about what's new in the event planning industry, a picture of your family or something in your personal life that's going on. It works every single time. Every single month our phone rings. Yes, people call to say, oh my God, your kids are so cute, but then they hire us for something. Or they give us a referral. And they always say, oh man, I just saw that and I just thought of you and I was just talking to somebody the other day and they'd be perfect for you. And it's because we stay in front of them every single month. The beauty of this is it is not supposed to look super duper high end. We have people who do them, clients who do them in Microsoft Word and print them at Kinko's, and they actually work really well because it looks homegrown. That's the whole point. If there's some vendors in the industry who will do a newsletter for you where you don't have to do any work, but it's all canned content, and your clients can tell the difference. All right. Anybody want to talk about a newsletter? Anybody want to do a newsletter hot seat? What's the budget range for the newsletter, including mailing? It depends on how you have it printed, Victoria. So, for example, we have, like, if this is on glossy paper and full color on all 4 pages, it'll cost you about $4 to $5 with postage, out the door, stuffed, stamped, sealed, and mailed. If you do it on, I have clients who literally print them on their own printer, and then your budget is paper and ink and a stamp. So it just depends. You do them at Kinko's, depending on how many you print. You can get them for $1 or $2. It just depends on, if it's black and white versus color, etc. My company has 3 divisions. Do I do 1 newsletter? It depends. So in my ideal world, if I could get you to, I would get you to do 3. I would get you to do 3 different newsletters to 3 different groups of people. Because I'm guessing the gift basket company is not the same clients. I mean, I'm sure there's some crossover because obviously that's why you have 3 divisions, but I'm sure every event management client is not a gift basket client. So I would do 3 different newsletters if it's in my ideal world, but if time is an issue, if budget is an issue, I totally get you could do 1 for all 3. It will still be effective. It won't be as effective as 3 different newsletters, but it's better than 0. Okay, awesome. Moving on to the next one. All right, how to get your clients to think about you every single month. So this is in addition to the newsletter, or if you didn't have the budget to do a newsletter, you could do this because it's cheaper. You are going to send them a warm and fuzzy or a hard ask postcard every single month. I'm going to show you what the difference is and what the proper ratio is because we tested it every different way and we found the one that worked the best. So in this example, a warm and fuzzy piece of marketing or a warm and fuzzy postcard that says, do not forget to have a good time on your birthday. It's a joke. It's cheesy. Who is my person who told me I was cheesy? Amber, you said my What's in It for You, What's in It for Me radio station was cheesy. This is right up your alley. I know you love the cheese. This is for the woman who does it all. Happy Mother's Day postcard. This is a Valentine's Day postcard. So it might be Happy Valentine's Day. I love getting to plan your anniversary party. Just thinking of you. So warm and fuzzy is just making them feel warm and fuzzy. We're not asking them to do anything. A hard ask campaign asks them, let's say, for example, for a referral. Who do you know so for Valentine's Day, I would say, we loved getting to serve you. Who do you know who doesn't love their event planner? Or you could do something like, who do you know who's in love and might be planning their wedding soon? Type of thing. Now, where do you get what is the proper ratio? The ratio is 2 to 1. What that means is you're going to do 2 months of warm fuzzy campaigns, and then the 3rd month can be a hard ask for referrals. So that would be, let's say, January might be Happy New Year. February might be Happy Valentine's Day. March might be who do you know who doesn't blah, blah, who needs a blah, blah, blah. If you do all promotional, they'll throw out your mail. because they'll see that you're always trying to get something from them. We found if you do 2 months of warm fuzzy in a row, you've like earned the right to get the you've earned the right to do the hard ask. Now, where do you get all these ideas for all of this stuff? So we have an event calendar that literally has all of these zany holidays, some of which you've heard of. You know what Valentine's Day is, some of which you've never heard of. So for example, in July 2nd was World UFO Day. July 5th was Workaholics Day. July 6th was World Kissing Day. What is today? Today's the 11th? No, today's the 12th. It's Simplicity Day. Tomorrow is Embrace Your Geekness Day. Gummy Worm Day is the 15th. Stick out your, you see, these are real days that the gummy worm manufacturers got placed on the calendar somehow. So if you take advantage of what we're going to share with you later about how to get a lot of this done for you, we'll supply you with these calendars, and then you can just pick which one resonates the most with you that month and do a postcard about that. Questions on that? Anybody want to do a hot seat on how to drip on their prospects every month? Budget for postcards depends on how you do them. You could go buy them at the grocery store. If you want them done for you, a dollar store has them. If you want them done for you, we use a service called sendoutcards.com/Seth. That way it digitalizes your handwriting into a font, and literally you can just upload your database, create the card, hit print, and it'll mail them for you. You can include gifts with send out cards, you can send brownies, you can send books, you can send all sorts of cool stuff. That's how we do it, so that I don't physically have to write out, a couple hundred cards every month. Beth, great stuff so far. Thank you. Aw, thanks, Beth. I appreciate the shout out. Awesome. Denise, I use send out cards. I upload pics from the event and use it as a thank you card. Also send Christmas cards this way too. That is brilliant, Denise. Using a picture from the event, because you can customize the cards. You can upload any picture. So she's taking a picture from her event and using that as a thank you card. That is awesome. I love that idea, because they're going to save the card then. That is a great, Denise, that was worth my price of admission. So thank you. That was awesome. All right. Now, Amber says kudos to Denise. Denise says you're welcome. Beautiful. All right. So I asked you at the beginning if I shared some awesome ideas with you, would it be okay if I shared with you how you can stay on top of all of this and get even more? Is that okay with you? Do you want to see? Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay, awesome. Great. I wanted to make sure. All right. So here's what we came up with at event. Lori is loving all of this. Vistaprint has great pricing on postcards and has monthly specials up to 50% off. Thank you, Laverne. That is an excellent tip. We use Vistaprint. I haven't used them for postcards. We've used them for business cards. That is really cool. I did not know they had 50% specials. Send out cards has postcards too. Yes. I mentioned that. All right. So here is what we came up with. So we talk to event planners, obviously, like you all, every day. There's about 18,000 in the Event Planners Association. And here's one of the things we have heard all of the time. We hear all the time, how do I stay on top of all of this? There is so much information out there. There are 60,000 podcasts, and you should all, of course, listen to ours, with more launching every day. There are 11,000 business books published every year. There are over 4.5 million YouTube videos on digital marketing alone, not counting event planning marketing. Somebody's always selling you something in your email inbox. How do you stay on top of it all and get what's actually working and sift through it all? So here's what we figured out. We came up with the Event Planners Online Mastermind Group, this is a sample of exactly what you're going to get. But we are also going to get you a whole bunch of physical stuff. So one of the things we're going to send you a box in the mail every single month, a physical box. We read, my office, my staff and I, we read 30 books a month. So you're going to get out of those 30 books, is there any app that will help us stay on track? Yes, Talia, we're getting there. We will send you the best business, marketing, or personal development book we read that month, so you don't have to worry that you're missing out, and you don't have to go read 30 books. So we'll get you the best business, marketing, or personal development book that we read every month. 30 books times an average price of $14.95 is about $448.50. We interview experts not only in the event planning industry, but also on my Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank, and on the dozens and dozens of podcasts my company produces every single month. We'll get you, those interviews are about 20 to 30 minutes, and we will get you the best interview all month long so you can stop listening to all those other podcasts on an audio CD so that you can listen to it and not have to worry about Wi-Fi or being connected or your phone charger or anything like that. If we do only 20 interviews a month times 30 minutes at $100 an hour, that's a value of about $1,500. We also watch those YouTube videos every single month. We watch marketing courses every month. We buy every single marketing course you can imagine every single month and then watch it and implement it all. We will distill all of that down and send you a 2 to 3 hour DVD teaching you the best of what's working every single month. So all you've got to do, everything from Facebook marketing to LinkedIn marketing to you name it, we're going to share it with you and say, hey, this is what is working right now out in the world for our clients. This is step by step how to go do it in your plant business to generate you more events. If you think about the fact that we watch over 20 hours of video a month, times $100 an hour is $2,000. Now, we're going to have a closed Facebook members site where all of us can learn from, support, and network with each other and ask any questions we want. I couldn't put a value on that one, so I said it was priceless. Because Denise's idea was priceless right there. We'll give you the warm, fuzzy, hard ask marketing campaign of the month. All you've got to do is swipe and deploy it in your business. So you don't have to think about what holiday should I use, what do I write. We'll just do it for you. We'll just give it to you. And we normally charge $500 a month to do that for people. We will also give you a direct marketing campaign of the month outside of the warm and fuzzies to use in your business. So that might be a sales letter. It might be an email. It might be some type of campaign that you're going to send out. You're going to modify for yourself. You're going to send it out and get business. And normally when clients hire us to create a campaign of the month for them to generate sales, events, product, we charge $2,000 for it. So you get in this box the best business marketing or personal development book we read, the best 20 to 30 minute interview, the expert audio CD, the 2 to 3 hour DVD of the best of what's working in terms of training, in terms of marketing, access to the closed Facebook members group, the warm, fuzzy, hard-ass marketing campaign of the month done for you, the direct marketing campaign of the month handed for you. If you add all that up, it's $6,448.50 in value, not counting the priceless stuff. But don't worry, you're not going to pay $6,448. You're not going to pay 10% of that. You're not going to pay 5% of that. We're running a special just for EPA members. For only $177 a month, you get access to everything, but it's only for the first 107 because we already have 93 members and we're capping when we get to 200. If you're interested in learning more or signing up for that, it's at marketdominationllc.com/cutting-edge. Now, I promised you at the beginning that I would give you a $2,500 gift. If you are an EPA Online Mastermind member and you use our book strategy where you interview the vendors, you interview the referral sources for the book, we will do the graphic design, layout, editing, and publishing of your book for you for only $500. And we literally normally charge $3,000 for this, so it will literally save you $2,500. And we will even handle your book launch for you. That is what is included in the Event Planners Mastermind. Again, we've only got room for 107. For the first 107 EPA members, it's $177 a month. And you can go grab it at marketdominationllc.com/cutting-edge. It is first come, first serve. Now I want to turn my webcam back on and show you some examples. Okay, so for example, one of the, this is Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. This is one of my favorite books. You can't really tell on the camera, but I've got like every other page dog-eared, highlighted, ideas. I got notes written all over the place. One idea from this book gave me the template for another webinar I did to launch another service that we offer that literally increased our business 40%. Our revenue went up 40% from one idea from this book. So Imagine if you had read 29 other books and didn't get to this one. You would have missed out on the one idea that could have increased your revenue 40%. We're researching for you. These are the DVDs from an event called Titans of Direct Response. There are more than 12 hours of DVD video footage in here. We watched them all, got the most important idea out of this, and dramatically increased the results of our marketing campaigns. I'm not going to tell you the specific number because I don't want you to get your expectations too high. Our audio CD, best CD of the month, we got literally one idea from it that allowed me to systemize one of our services that has 52 steps in it that I was trying to keep track of in my head and on Microsoft Excel and Google Docs, and it was driving me crazy. Just doing that alone dramatically reduced my stress level, got me my sanity back, and increased our profit margin. So that's the type of power of this stuff that's going to be in this box. Who is the author again? Stephanie wants to know. You got to join, and then we'll give you the book. Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. Talia, you want to know apps to help us stay on track. Talia, I want to clarify the question. Are you asking, are there any apps to help you stay on track of managing an event? Are you talking about in terms of doing your marketing and helping grow your business? What type of app, what type of being on track do you want? Because I'm sure the answer is yes, I just don't want to give you the wrong answer. Specifically for marketing, yes. Okay, so depending on what marketing you're doing and how much you want to spend. So the app that we use is called Infusionsoft. It is marketing automation and CRM software. And depending on how many contacts you have and depending on if you want e-commerce ability to process credit cards online, it may cost you between $200 and $300 a month. That may be way too much horsepower for you. You may not need all of that. I am actually doing a webinar in August teaching the app we use to manage the 53 steps, all the steps in my business. And how it saved my sanity. And if you want to know what that one is, shoot me an email. I'll type my message. Can I type it in the chat box? I'm not sure. To entire audience. I'm going to type my email address. This is my non-EPA address. Let me know if you see it. It's Seth@marketdominationprogram.com. If you want to attend that webinar on literally how my business at a certain point was a nightmare and driving me crazy and making me sick, and how I turned it around through the use of this app that I'm going to share on that webinar, let me know. I'm happy to include you on that webinar. We weren't marketing that webinar to the EPA list because we only do stuff that's EPA specific for EPA and sponsored by EPA, but I'll let you attend because A, you might want it, and B, you might learn something. Do we have any other questions? Your package sounds amazing. I'm checking it immediately. Thanks, Seth. You're awesome. Aw, thanks, Stephanie. Thanks, Talia. Thank you. You're welcome, Talia. Happy to. All right. So if you want to get in on the Event Planners Online Mastermind group where you get the box every month, you get access to the Facebook group every month, you'll get access to me because I'll be doing live Facebook Ask Me Anything, video streams where you can, and webinars like this where you can ask any question you want. We'll help you out with it. Go to marketdominationllc.com/cutting-edge. First 107, first come, first serve. Again, there's 18,000 people of you in the association, so obviously some people are going to be disappointed, but there's nothing I can do about that, so get in first. And I look forward to seeing if you do the book strategy, if you do the newsletter, if you do the postcards, and you're not in the mastermind group, let me know. I'd love to hear your case study. I'd love to hear your success stories. If you're in the group, I'm going to know how it's going for you because we'll be holding your hand all the way through. All right. Thanks, everybody, for attending. I'm going to go pick up my kids. And have a great day. You're welcome, Mazzella. You're welcome, Elise. You're welcome, Talia. Thank you for the shout-outs. I appreciate it.